The crimson dust of Kepler 442b swirled around Liana's boots as she crested the ridge, her scanner beeping frantically. 3 months of surveying this barren world for mineral deposits, and now something was finally breaking the monotony. The readings were off the charts, metallic compositions unlike anything in the colonial database. "Raza, you need to see this," she called through her comm, voice tight with excitement. Her partner's response crackled through the static. "Another false reading? The atmospheric interference has been playing hell with our equipment all week." "Not this time." Liana's breath fogged her visor as she descended into the shallow canyon. "I'm looking at it right now." The ship, if that's what it was, lay half-buried in millennia of sediment. Its hull gleamed with an opalescent sheen that seemed to shift between colors as she approached. The design was unlike anything human engineers had conceived. Sleek curves that defied conventional aerodynamics, surfaces that seemed to flow like liquid metal frozen in time. Raza's rover appeared on the horizon 20 minutes later, kicking up a plume of rust-colored dust. He leaped from the vehicle before it fully stopped, his dark eyes wide behind his helmet's visor. "By the void," he breathed. "How old do you think it is?" Liana ran her gloved hand along the hull, feeling subtle vibrations through her suit. "Older than human civilization, that's for sure. But look at this." She pointed to a section where the sediment had been cleared away. No corrosion, no structural damage. Whatever this thing is made of, it's beyond our current materials science. They worked in silence for hours, carefully excavating the craft with archaeological precision. As the sun began to set, painting the alien sky in shades of amber and violet, they uncovered what appeared to be an access panel. Strange symbols glowed faintly along its edges, not carved or painted but somehow integrated into the metal itself. "The power source is still active," Raza observed, checking his readings. "After all this time, whatever keeps this thing running hasn't degraded." By a single percentage point, Liana's fingers traced the symbols, and to their amazement the panel responded, sliding open with a whisper-soft hiss. Inside, banks of crystalline displays flickered to life, casting ethereal light across their faces. Text scrolled across the screens, not in any human language, but somehow incredibly, their translation software began parsing the symbols. "Personal log, Commander Thexhi, Galactic Hegemony Defense Corps." Liana read aloud, her voice barely a whisper. "Raza, this is a military vessel." More text cascaded across the displays, and gradually a story began to emerge. Commander Thexhi had been part of an advanced reconnaissance mission, studying primitive worlds throughout the galaxy. The logs detailed dozens of civilizations at various stages of development, most of which had been catalogued and dismissed as strategically irrelevant. But one entry made them both freeze. Sol system, third planet, species designation, human, classification, extreme caution, recommendation, immediate quarantine protocols. Raza's hands shook as he operated the interface. "Liana, look at the date stamp on this entry." She leaned closer, her heart pounding. The alien chronometer indicated a time period roughly equivalent to humanity's Bronze Age, thousands of years before humans had even dreamed of spaceflight. The log continued. "Despite primitive technology, human specimens demonstrate unprecedented adaptability, aggression, and innovation. Unlike other species studied, humans consistently exceed predictive models for advancement. Their capacity for both cooperation and violence, combined with remarkable problem-solving abilities, suggests potential for rapid technological progression." "They were afraid of us," Liana whispered. "Even when we were barely using metal tools, they saw something that scared them." The next entries revealed the truth. The Galactic Hegemony had been a vast interstellar empire, technologically superior to anything humanity could imagine even now. They had ruled for millions of years, methodically cataloging and controlling the development of younger species. But Thexhi's reports had changed everything. His detailed analysis of human potential had convinced the Hegemony's leadership that humanity represented an existential threat, not immediately but eventually. The decision had been unanimous: complete sterilization of Earth. Yet here was the commander's ship, crashed on a distant world, its pilot apparently never returning to report humanity's location. The final log entries told a different story, one of doubt, of an alien soldier who had spent months observing humanity and found something his superiors hadn't expected: creativity, compassion, the ability to love across tribal boundaries and sacrifice for strangers. "I cannot be the instrument of their destruction," the final entry read. "The Hegemony fears their potential for violence, but I have witnessed their capacity for beauty. They create art for its own sake, music that serves no survival purpose, stories that bind them across vast distances. They are dangerous, yes, but perhaps danger and wonder are not mutually exclusive. I will not report their coordinates. Let the universe judge whether that is wisdom or folly." Liana and Raza stood in the alien ship's glow, the weight of revelation settling over them. Humanity had been judged by a galactic empire and found too dangerous to live, but one alien soldier had seen something worth preserving. "The Hegemony," Raza said quietly. "What happened to them?" Liana accessed the ship's historical databases, parsing through eons of data. The answer came in fragments: civil wars, technological stagnation, the gradual collapse of an empire grown too comfortable with its own supremacy. The last records showed a civilization in decline, their worlds abandoned, their people scattered or extinct. "They're gone," she said. "All of them. And humanity." She gestured toward the star-filled sky visible through the ship's transparent hull. "We're out here now, exploring, colonizing, becoming exactly what they feared we might." As they prepared to leave, Liana paused at the ship's controls. With careful reverence, she added a final entry to Thexhi's log. "Commander, this is Liana Chen of the Human Colonial Survey. We found your ship, and we found your choice. We've survived to reach the stars, not because we conquered our violent nature, but because we learned to channel it toward protecting what we love. Thank you for giving us that chance." The ancient ship powered down as they sealed the access panel, but not before downloading its entire database to their equipment. As they drove back toward their base camp under alien stars, both humans carried the weight of their species' hidden legacy. A reminder that sometimes the greatest victories are won not through strength, but through an enemy's moment of mercy.